Hello everyone, hope you are doing well and welcome all of you to the Ballerina First community call. I'm Buddhi Kotalavala, software engineer at WSO2. First, I'll give you some brief introduction about our community call. In this community call, we are going to discuss how you can implement gRPC applications in Ballerina language. When talk about the community call, this is simply a monthly meeting and where we have this community call structure. We started with a feature explanation plus a demonstration. Then we go into an open discussion. This is an open forum where you can ask questions and you can ask questions via this Zoom chat, or at the end of the session, we have this open discussion where you can raise that question at the end of the meeting. And we have to inform you that we are recording this chat, recording this community call, and we are streaming this community call into our YouTube channel. And here I listed out a couple of useful links where you can find out agenda when we go to this document. And there's a notification form where once you fill this form, you can get notification about our future community calls. And the third one is the important one where you can suggest a particular topic. Then we will dedicate our future community calls to the topic that you suggested. Okay, let's move on to today's agenda where we planning to start the community call with brief introduction to Ballerina and quick introduction to gRPC. Then we are going to move on to gRPC related use cases. We are in this community call, we are going to cover three main use cases: gRPC unary, gRPC server streaming, and gRPC client streaming. And finally, we can have an open discussion. Okay, let's get started. So first of all, what is Ballerina? Ballerina is an open source programming language and platform for cloud era application programmers to easily write software that just work. Recently, I found out this very nice article written by Asank Abesinghe. In this article, he explained how these architectures of our software applications have evolved through time. In this case, we started with monolithic applications, then we move on to early integrations where we then passed message-oriented architecture, then we move on to service-oriented architecture. Then after that, we talk about REST APIs, HTTP, MQTT. Finally, we are in an era where we talk about microservices architecture, gRPC, GraphQL, WebSockets, likewise. From that perspective, you can understand that nowadays softwares become smaller and smaller, and all the softwares are all piece of these softwares interact with each other using networks. That is why Ballerina is important in this kind of context where network concepts are in the language itself when it comes to Ballerina context. For example, concepts like client objects, services, resource functions, and listeners. Those are not third-party libraries anymore in Ballerina world, where these things embedded to the language and come to you as a language features. As a second point, here the supports like HTTPS, HTTP2, WebSocket, WebSub, gRPC, those kind of network-related features are also comes with this Ballerina platform as standard libraries. Because of that, you don't have to worry about these networking concepts. You just need to worry about your application logic, and Ballerina will take care of these network-related stuffs. And second one is code to cloud, where if you can remember, at the early stage of our deployment, we just write a piece of software, then we deployed in a monolithic approach in a single server. Then we move on to virtual applications where we use virtual machines. These virtual machines interact with each other via a network, likewise. Then now we are in a world where we use containerization more with Linux namespaces, C groups, and then we move on to Docker containers. Nowadays, we are using not only containerization, we are using container orchestration tools like Kubernetes. In Ballerina world, you can get this code to cloud support in the language itself. For example, you can write a simple Ballerina application, then you can add a couple of annotations. When you build that Ballerina project, you will get your Docker image or Kubernetes YAML that you want to deploy. Third important point in here is sequence diagram support for programming. When you develop this kind of network related application, it's better to see how these network cores are interacting with each other using a diagram. In this case, you can see this kind of network interactions using sequence diagram. For example, let me go through this quick example quickly. In here, we have the simple HTTP service called Hello World. It binds to HTTP listener using port 9090. We have a resource function called say hello, and it will simply respond you a string payload. We can see this example as a sequence diagram like this. In here, you can see how this caller and service interact with each other and how request response interacting, how this interaction happen through this service and caller. So when it comes to complex applications, you can weave this entire application via a sequence diagram. Next one is gRPC. gRPC is a modern open source high performance RPC framework where it depends on with its default protocol is HTTP2 protocol, which is a binary protocol, and it uses protocol buffers for serialization and deserialization. Because of that, this gRPC framework is highly efficient, and the performance of this RPC framework is really high because of this HTTP2 and usage of protocol buffers. Okay, now let's move on to how Ballerina tooling supports for gRPC. When you freshly install Ballerina into a local machine or a server, then you will get this Ballerina tooling support, which means command line interface, where you can create Ballerina projects, add packages, build Ballerina projects, even you can run Ballerina files individually. Likewise, there are a bunch of features which embedded to this Ballerina command line tool. As part of gRPC, Ballerina tooling also support gRPC features where you can give protobuf file as an input, then it will generate you this gRPC service related boilerplate code or client related boilerplate code or even proxy related boilerplate codes. Here I'll go through a simple quick example. Here we have generated a service related code. This is Ballerina command with we specify we are using gRPC feature, and the mode is service, and we give input file as a simple protobuf file, and we say that my output should move to this Unary server directory. Likewise, you can generate client code as well. When here the only difference is the mode is client, we give the same input file and output file will be moved to a separate directly. Likewise, you can generate proxy related code as well. I'll go through a quick example demonstration. Here, during this entire demonstration, I'll use Ballerina Swan Lake Preview 3, and I'm simply going to create new Ballerina project using Ballerina new command. I would name it as gRPC demo. Then I simply change the directory to the gRPC demo directory. And if you can see this directory, it will simply contain a Ballerina toml file and a source directory. Now I'm going to add a couple of Ballerina packages into this Ballerina project. Here I simply want to use two separate modules to have my client code in one module and server code in another module. So I just simply add two modules in here. I would name it as Unary server, and I'll name other one as Unary client. During this demonstration, I'll use VS Code as my primary editor. So I'll start this project with VS Code. Here you can see that it will create it created Unary client and the Unary server. Here by default, it will create this main function since we are generating this Ballerina code from a protobuf file, we don't need this anymore. Now I need a separate protobuf file. I'll name it as unary.proto. Here previously I have created a simple protobuf file where I'm going to use the same one. So I just need to generate, I'm trying to generate the service code and the client code. Here I specify my mode as service, and my input file would be unary.proto. Here this is a very simple example where we have a single service and with a single RPC code. Here we have two messages. First one is a location where it contains name, latitude, and the longitude, and the second one is cab details where it simply contains the cab number. Simply we have a RPC here where it gets start location of a particular cab. Here I specified my input file. Now I want to move my output to a directory called unit server. Okay, it created this service file. I also generate my client code. My output should move to unary client. Okay, simple as that. And I'll explain you this service code and the client code. It's better to go with the protobuf file. If you can map these two, you can see we have a simple service in here, and we have a RPC code where I simply use cab details as a parameter and returns a location. Here we have this our service maps to a GR Ballerina service, and it binds to a gRPC listener which runs on port 9090. This RPC call converted back to a get start location resource function, and it passes gRPC caller with cab details. Here this cab details cab details message and the location message converted to a Ballerina records, and we have route descriptors which needs to interact with the client. And when it comes to client code, here you can see this initialization of blocking client which runs on port 9090. And if you can see, this is the stub file. If you are familiar with this RPC frameworks, you know that client is actually calling a function in the stub. Stub is the one who's responsible for actually call this actual gRPC service and get the payload and give that back to the client. So here's the stub file where we have two client objects, gRPC cab service blocking client and non-blocking client. You can use either of them. And here we have initialization and the actual function that gRPC client is invoking. And same as the previous one, we have cab details record and location record, and finally the route descriptors. Okay, it's about the generation part of the gRPC, where Ballerina tooling support how client and service code generation. Okay, now we can move on to our use cases. First, we are going to discuss gRPC unary use case. In this demonstration, I'll go through with a very simple example where let's imagine you are a passenger in here. You want to book a cab. You already have the list of locations, list of cabs, available cabs. Now you want to fetch a start location of a particular cab. In this case, you are calling a gRPC service and get back the start location of a given cab, which is really simple gRPC unary call. And If we move on to the architecture of this gRPC client and server, you can simply say demonstrate like this, where you have a Ballerina client, which is a gRPC client, and Ballerina server, which is also a gRPC server. As I said previously, gRPC stub is the one who actually initiates this call, and server will give you an acknowledgement, and then stub actually call get start location RPC with cap details as a parameter C. Then it will returns, the Ballerina server will returns the location. Okay, now we can look at how we can implement this kind of use case using Ballerina. Here I want to go through this Unary client and the Unary server implementation. Here the protobuf file is the same as the previous one that I described during that gRPC code generation demonstration, where we have location message, cap details, and we have one RPC call get start location with which we pass parameters, cap details, and returns location. Here you can see this service where the same generated code, we have root descriptors and all the record types that generated by Ballerina tooling. And here we have some internal function. I'll explain you it later. And all these service related things are same as the previous generated one, except for this logic. Here we have cap details as parameter as the previous. I'll explain you this logic in here. Once someone invoke this particular RPC, we simply start with logging saying that this function is being invoked. Then we invoke this get start location from cap number internal function where we pass cap number as a parameter. I'll go through this very simple internal function where we have a map to contain all the location with cap numbers. Those are simply start locations, simple map. If you specify the particular cap number, it will return the start location of a particular cap. Here I want to point it out this. It returns location no question mark, which means question location or null, which means if user specified a cap number where it's not available in this map, then it will simply return a null value. That's why we are specifying in here returns location or null. And then it will return start location, and if location is here we simply do a null check, whereas start location is a location type, then we simply send start location back to the server. If something goes wrong, we simply log an error. And when everything gets completed, server said everything is completed, then send complete message back to the client. And here if something goes wrong, which means let's say user specified a wrong cap number and this function will return a null. In this case, we are do some error handling in here where we send an error back to the client saying this is an invalid argument. Okay, now we can move on to the client implementation, where here we initialize a blocking client which maps to port 9090, and we initialize cap details with cap number AB002, and blocking client invokes this get start location RPC with cap details as a parameter. If something goes wrong, we simply log an error, and if everything is fine, then we print that response. Very simple RPC implementation here. I just want to run this first. I'll build this project. Okay, in this demonstration, I'll simply use Unary client and Unary server. We are using these other jars in the future demonstrations. Yeah, I just want to run Unary server first, and then I'll run the Unary client. Now you can see that this function is being invoked, and this server said this function is being invoked with cab number 002, and it will simply returns the start location of that particular cab. Okay, now here's the Unary related gRPC implementation. Now we can go through server streaming use case. As I said previously, I want to continue with this same use case where now in the previous demonstration, you are a passenger, you want to get the start location of a particular cab. Now let's assume the cab is, you already booked that cab and cab is coming to fetch you. In this use case, as a common scenario, now you want to see the current live location of that particular cab while it's coming. That is the use case that we cover in this server streaming part, where cab in here act as a service and you are the client. This cab is the one who sending you the stream location as a stream, where you as a client receive this all the location information related to that particular cab. When it comes to the architectural perspective, you simply have a Ballerina client in here and a Ballerina server, gRPC stub and the message listener. gRPC stub is the one who actually initiates the call as the previous architectural call, and it will simply send you an acknowledgement. Then we call get current location RPC call along with the cab details and the message listener. And here server will send you all the location as a stream, where you get first location, second location, third location, and so on and so forth. You get this location as a stream, and finally Ballerina server, which is gRPC server, send you a complete message. Okay, now we can move to the demonstration. So we are done with Unary use case. Now we are going to explain, I'm going to explain this server streaming part. First, I'll go through this protobuf file, which is a similar one as the previous one, where we have message and the location and the cab details messages and cab service as previously. Here the only difference is we have another RPC call called get current location. We pass cab details as a parameter, and it returns a stream of location instead of a particular location. Okay, let's see this service implementation here. Everything is similar to the previous one, where we have most of the things here. Root descriptors, we have internal function called get cab root. I'll explain it later. We have these all the records generated, and this service implementation also generated, except for this logic. In here we are using port 9091, and here as the previous one we have gRPC caller and the cab details. As the previous one, we simply start with saying this function is being invoked with this cab number, and in this line we are invoking this internal function called get cab route with cab details. And in here, this internal function, we are storing all the route information as a map of locations, where we have list of locations particularly mapped to a specific cab. And once you specify the cab number, it will simply returns the route of a particular cab. Then as the previous one, here it will return you list of locations. Simply route means a list of location, or a null when you specify the cab number where it's not available in this list. As the previous one, we are going to do a null check in here, and if as the previous one, if you specify the invalid argument, then we do some kind of error handling and say this is an invalid argument. And here you can see that we get a route as a list of locations, and we start a for each loop and go through each and every location in that particular route. And then we send each and every location back to the client as a set of locations, and one by one, then if something goes wrong, it will print an error, and if everything is fine, it say we send this location back to the client. Once every location of the particular route is being processed, then we are sending a complete request saying this transaction, this gRPC code is completed now. This is the simply service related implementation. And now I go through this client related implementation in here. As the previous one, we have CAB initialized service client, and we have a CAB details specified in here. And this service client endpoint will invoke this get current location RPC passing CAB details with message listener. Message listener simply listen to the messages, and it has three resource functions where we have on message function which invokes on each message, and on error function which invokes as it says when something goes wrong, it will invoke this on error function. Once everything is being processed and completed, this on complete function is being invoked. Now we can run this gRPC server streaming server and the client. Since I built this entire project at once at the previous demonstration, so I can directly run this target bin server streaming server. I first start this server streaming server, and then I'll start server streaming client. Here we use port 9091. Now you can see it connected successfully, and server send these three locations back to the client, and client receive the exact same locations in here as a stream. And once everything is completed, and simply this client say this server completed the sending responses. That is for the server streaming part. Now we can move on to the client streaming. Okay, as I said previously, we are going to continue with this same use case throughout this demonstration. And here now let's assume in this previous use case, CAB was coming to fetch you. Now let's assume CAB already fetched you. Now you are in this in your ride. We are talking about a huge company, CAB service, where during your ride, this CAB service company needs to ensure your ride is safe and you are safe during your entire ride. Because of that, it has a specific security need, and you have to stream your current location back to that security unit to make sure you are in your route and you are safe. So in this case, you are the client here. That security unit is act as a service here. You are the client, and you are the one who's streaming your location back to that service. Okay. Now, as the previous one, we have a Ballerina client, Ballerina server. Here we have a gRPC stub and streaming client object and the message listener. I'll go through this architecture where gRPC stub is the one as the previous ones initiates the call, and Ballerina server will give you an acknowledgement, and you call this send current location from RPC with message listener, and it will give you a streaming client object to stream your client data back to the server. So using this stream, you can send specific location back to the server as a stream one by one. And once everything is completed, client can say you are completed now, and Ballerina server also sending an acknowledgement saying it's now completed. Now you can go through this demonstration part. Yeah, we are done with server streaming. Here, this is the protobuf file that I'm going to use during this demonstration. This location message is same as the previous one. Yeah, in here we have a trip state. Once you completed your entire trip, this security int will say this is being completed. Your ride is completed now or in progress state. And here we have CAP service as the previous one. We have one RPC call saying send current location. Instead of sending one specific location, we are going to send stream of locations in here, and finally the server will send you the state of the trip. In this demonstration, I'll first go through the client implementation, then it will be easy to understand the concept. So as the server streaming one, here you have a message listener as we have on message, on error, and on complete functions. And this server logic is the client logic is the differentiation in here. We initialize the client endpoint with port 1992. In this example, we are using port 1992, and we initialize the streaming client, and this endpoint will call this actual RPC send current location with message listener. And if something goes wrong, we returns from this program. If everything is fine, this response is actually a streaming client. You can get this streaming client and use this streaming client to send location as a stream to the server. And here we simply have a list of location of your particular route, and we go through each and every location using for each loop. We start for each loop and go through each and every location in that route, and for each location we are sending that specific location to the server. Once everything is processed during in this for each loop, then client will simply send and complete message. That is the server related client related implementation. Now we can move to the server implementation, where in here we have gRPC listener as the previous ones, and we have route descriptors, location also converted to a record, and we specify trip state in here. As I said previously, this trip state represent as a enumeration. We convert this enumeration into this union type, where then we have this RPC call. We have gRPC caller along with the streaming object, where instead of a particular location, we are getting this stream of location or error. In this Ballerina, we have this streaming concept. We are using this in databases as well as use cases like gRPC stream. Here we get this stream of location or error, where you can loop through this stream and go through each and every location that client is sending back to you, then trace every location and saying we trace this location. Once you reach this end of this stream, then the server can set that trip state to a complete and send that particular state back to the client. And if something goes wrong, it will simply log an error. Now, finally, if when server send back all the trip state back to the client, then it will simply send complete message saying this RPC call is now completed. Now we can run. Now we can run this application. Since I build this particular project at once, I just need to run this client streaming. Yeah, I want to run client streaming server. It started with port 1992. and I'll start client streaming. Client. Now you can see this. A client is the one who actually sent these locations. This location one by one as a stream. Here, server in server side, we trace every location, and once everything is completed, so these server send back and complete message, and this everything is completed now. And that is the use cases related to client streaming part. And as a summary, we discussed about, we started with introduction to Ballerina introduction, and we move on to a quick introduction about gRPC. Then we discuss about how Ballerina's command line tooling support this code generation of gRPC service, gRPC client, and the proxy. And then we move on to discuss these use cases: gRPC unary use case, gRPC client streaming use case, and the server streaming use case. Here are some of the references that I have used during this presentation and the demonstration. I think now we can move on to the discussion part where you can ask questions and related to Ballerina and gRPC. We are willing to answer them.
Hello, Buddhi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So can you go back to the server program that you wrote, the first example, please?
You mean the unary one?
Yes, the unary one. I just want to know, there's so in the happy part, you handle like once you send, like in line number 13, you send your message saying, okay, this is the location, and you have line number 18, you complete the process. So in the error path, don't we have to do that too, or is it just sending the error is enough? So
Sending the, sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead. Like in the line, so I was just
Yes.
wanted to know, like in the happy path, you are sending the location plus complete the task. In the else path, only sending the error. I just want to know what is the difference.
Yes, we can send only the error, and it's for the client part. For client perspective, we have to send that invalid document back to the client. If something goes wrong in the server side, we have to know in the server side this invalid document sending is failed. That is why we are doing this error part in here. This is for the server implementation part. This line number 27 to 30, and we are sending this error handling error saying invalid document in line 23 to 26 for the client side. This part is for the server side.
Okay. So here only sending error is enough. No need to result like caller
Yeah,
complete part is not needed for this part.
yeah. Actually, it's up to you if you need to see. For example, this error is sending back to the client saying, "Client, you are doing some kind of mistaken thing during this call."
Yeah.
So if something goes wrong when we send that error, we are logging that error for our server perspective.
Okay.
So in server side, we can see that.
So addition to the Buddhist comment, Varuna, sending error is enough. So once sends an error in gRPC world, like we are closing the connection, and in the close frame, we are sending back the error to the client. So once we send an error, means we are closing the connection and we are sending that. So we don't need to complete it again.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I have one more question. So let's say if one of our clients ask is there a way to implement a streaming API with our WS2 current product stack? is there a way that we can integrate this Ballerina gRPC with any of our current products? Like EI integrator or micro integrator using that? Is there a way? Just to see if there is a possibility.
I'm not exactly sure about this, but I think they have connectors related to gRPC. I'm not quite sure about that, but as far as I know, there are some kind of connectors related to gRPC and protobufs.
Yeah, in micro gateway, they are supporting, it's not actually 100% support, but for some extent, Ballerina gateway supports gRPC for micro integrator. So we are planning to support that in future.
Yes, as far as I know, streaming integrator has some gRPC connector for their streaming integrator, which is part of the EI.
Okay.
Bhuti, maybe we can also talk about some of the improvements we are going to bring in the future regarding gRPC maybe.
Yes, I think Danish can add more things as well. We are improving this proxy thing. I think we have this proxy support.
Yes. Yeah, proxy means like in gRPC, there's a concept called gRPC gateway where it's like same as HTTP JSON transencoding to gRPC. So let's say we have HTTP services right now, and we have
Yes, I think we lost Danish due to some connection failure. Yes, as Danish mentioned, we are gRPC proxy, the one who actually act as a proxy and to interact with this HTTP world. In this case, we already have implemented this gRPC unary level proxy thing. We are going to improve that onto streaming level. That's quite a plan. If someone has gRPC related questions or maybe Ballerina related question, you can ask Ballerina gRPC related questions.
Buddhi, there's a question on YouTube from Aditya. Are there any advantages that we get by using Ballerina? Like we can also create API in Spring Boot. So why should we use Ballerina? That's the question.
Yes, for Ballerina in gRPC world, or I'm not sure about that. I'll talk a bit about what is the unique feature when it comes to Ballerina gRPC. For example, if you can see this client streaming use case, and this is the use case implementation. I'll go through the code again. You can see that when we map this protobuf file, here there's a one-to-one mapping between protocol buffer definition as well as this Ballerina level implementation. So it is easy to developers to concern about their logic and grab the gRPC related idea. That's the first advantage that I want to point it out in here. And then the second one, I just want to say that this is the service code. I'll go through this client streaming service code where you can see this streaming use case where this when it comes to client streaming, you are actually using Ballerina level streaming concepts underneath. Because of that, that is another advantage when it comes to gRPC streaming use cases. first one I said, as I said, we have this one-to-one mapping between gRPC protocol definitions as well as the Ballerina service definitions. As I said previously, we have this concept of services, resource functions, listeners, and client objects. Those are directly maps to this networking world. And then the second one I want to point it out in here is we can, when it comes to streaming use case, we can use Ballerina level streams as well. I hope I ask his question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hear me?
Yes, that's
So
great.
is this proto file only used to generate the source code, or is there any usage of in the Ballerina code?
You mean
Proto file that
I
you
think,
have used?
yes, actually protofile is the one who actually interact this communication, where protofile is the one we actually generate code when you, for example, not only Ballerina, when it comes to the language, protofile is the one we define this service definition. So we have to share this with client and the server, and it is the one who acts as a service definition to the client and the server.
So let's say if we change the proto file, and then when we try this that tool again to generate the source code, then do we need to change the whole code, or is there any like easy method?
In gRPC, not actually in gRPC, in protocol buffers, you have this backward compatibility. So if we, for example, if let's say I just want to add another parameter, I can add another parameter with another number. So in this client, in this gRPC logic, you have to handle how this backward compatibility works. But in this protocol buffers world, it has this backward compatibility. You can remove whatever parameter, but or add another parameter. But in gRPC logic, you have to you have to manage that. Even you can generate another code and you can change the logic. So
you mean we need to create generate the file and then move on the code into the new one, right?
Yes, you can move the code, and somehow you have to manage that backward compatibility. But in protocol buffers it supports this backward compatibility through this numbering system, and so
Buddhi, like I have a question, like, so enabling this MTLS on, it's like security, applying MTLS for a gRPC, right? So what would be the added features from Ballerina point of view? Like, is it something, I mean, we know, like I used to read this book from Dinesh, his book on gRPC, but just want to understand what sort of features that Ballerina would offer when it comes to the integration with the gRPC.
You mean this Ballerina, the Ballerina level advantage, overall advantage when we use Ballerina?
Yeah.
gRPC?
Yes, I mean, it is like this. So when it comes to security, right? When it comes to security, like what would Ballerina language provides? Like, do you guys do it adds any kind of a templates to implement security on top of gRPC, or is it the same as how we're doing for a Go or Spring? We'll have to do the same manual thing.
I think I can.
Yeah.
So Dushan, in Ballerina, what we are doing is we initiate a listener, and then we point that listener to the service. It's not it's not particular to the gRPC. If it is HTTP or other services also, we are doing the same thing. We initialize the listener and then we point that listener to the service. So in gRPC, in Ballerina, what we can enable is we enable all the transport securities, enable TLS and all sort of stuff in listener level. So so same like HTTP service and so on, we have the annotations to point all the socket security, socket stuff, socket configs. So like we can point key stores and stuff like that using annotations for the listener, so that whenever we set up the connection, we are like enabling all the security for that channel, and that channel, that listener will be using in the service, so that whatever the service attached to that listener will get the transport level security. If when you have, but in Ballerina gRPC, we still don't have the call security stuff. That means the client, the auth kind of auth token and basic auth security stuffs are not supported right now, but we are going to support it in future. So the transport security.
Danish, which means like if someone wants to implement, which means if someone wants to implement auth security, which supports by Spring and other language for gRPC. So for this one, like we don't have, but is there any possible workaround for anyone who want to try out?
For now, I would say no, because we need to have like an interceptor support for the gRPC to support all the call security stuff. So let's say we need to enable auth for the gRPC call. What in the server side, what we need to do is we need to intercept client call and then introspect the token. For now, for current implementation, we don't have the support to intercept gRPC call. Then that's why we are unable to do that right now. But we are going to support that one in near future. So once enable it, we can like set interceptors into the gRPC service so that we enable all the security stuff in there. Transport security, we are still we have that support for MTLS and so on. That's
all right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I think if we don't have any further questions, we can wind up the discussion and the community call. So I hope one will have questions. So hope you have a good day. Thank you for joining our community call. And there are you can, in the meantime, you can move to Ballerina site and Ballerina by example. You can try out these Ballerina examples and try out gRPC related examples as well. So that's it for the today's course. So good day for all of you. Thank you for joining.